Hello everyone, Dr. Mandell here. When it comes to keeping your legs strong, your veins healthy, and your circulation flowing, there is one natural food that research continues to highlight for its incredible benefits. And the best part? You only need 1 teaspoon a day. Today, I'm going to share how this simple ingredient can help boost blood flow, reduce inflammation, improve stamina, and support stronger, healthier legs naturally. Every day, millions of people wake up with legs that feel heavier than their hearts. Muscles that should carry them with strength instead slow them down with fatigue, tightness, or a coldness that creeps in like winter settling in their veins. But hidden inside one of nature's most underestimated spices lies a quiet force powerful enough to change the way blood moves through the human body. A force contained in just 1 teaspoon, and that teaspoon is cayenne pepper. For thousands of years, civilizations have used cayenne not just to flavor their meals, but to ignite life within their bodies. And only recently has modern science begun to uncover why this fiery red powder has such a profound effect on human circulation. Inside every grain of cayenne is a compound called capsaicin, a molecule so potent that researchers have spent decades studying the way it interacts with the body's vascular system. And what they found was astonishing. Capsaicin doesn't just heat the tongue, it heats the blood vessels, signaling them to relax, open, and expand. Doctors call this vasodilation, but to the ordinary person, it feels like warmth spreading into cold feet, energy pushing through tired legs, and oxygen finally reaching places that have been starving for it. Imagine tiny muscles inside your arteries softening, widening the pathways that carry blood to your calves, your ankles, your toes. With wider vessels comes a smoother flow. With smoother flow comes more oxygen. And with more oxygen comes strength. This is why capsaicin has been shown in numerous studies to increase circulation and metabolic activity. It enhances what scientists call perfusion, the delivery of life-giving nutrients to tissues that depend on it. Your legs, which carry your body every day, are among the first to benefit. But the story goes deeper. Capsaicin doesn't just improve circulation, it also helps prevent the stagnation that slowly wears down the vascular system. Research shows that it reduces platelet aggregation, meaning it helps keep blood from becoming unnecessarily thick or sticky. When blood flows freely, muscles fatigue less, recover faster, and remain stronger for longer. For someone who sits at a desk all day or stands in one place until their feet ache, this change can feel nothing short of miraculous. Because the moment blood moves efficiently again, the legs begin to feel alive. In labs around the world, scientists observed another remarkable effect. Capsaicin boosts nitric oxide. Nitric oxide is a gas that the body naturally produces to relax blood vessels. It's one of the most important molecules for cardiovascular health. Athletes use strategies to increase nitric oxide for better endurance and oxygen delivery. But nature built one of the most effective nitric oxide supporting compounds into a simple, spicy pepper. When nitric oxide rises, the vessels in the legs expand like roads being widened during rush hour. More space, more flow, more power. Yet the benefits don't stop at the arteries. Capsaicin influences the smallest channels of circulation, the microvessels, the tiny highways deep inside the muscles that are responsible for keeping tissues warm and nourished. When microcirculation is weak, legs grow cold. Numbness appears, fatigue sets in, but even a small amount of cayenne can stimulate these microscopic pathways, bringing blood back into areas that have been quietly deteriorating for years. Some researchers believe this microvascular support may be one of the most important reasons people report improved leg comfort after adding cayenne to their routine. Nature designed cayenne pepper to be a stimulant, not the nervous kind, not the jittery kind, but a vascular stimulant, a spark that tells your blood, move, flow, deliver, heal. When that spark reaches the legs, the effects can be profound. Muscles that once felt heavy after a short walk begin to carry the body with renewed energy. Feet that were once cold even in warm rooms slowly regain their natural warmth. Calves that used to cramp become more resilient, all because the pathways that nourish them have opened. But here's the most astonishing part. You don't need tablespoons. You don't need massive doses. Research and traditional medicine agree. Just 1 teaspoon a day is enough to shift blood flow patterns in the body. 1 teaspoon. A quantity small enough to fit comfortably in your hand. A quantity that costs almost nothing. A quantity that can transform the way your vascular system behaves. This is the beauty of natural compounds. They don't require volume. They require consistency. A teaspoon a day creates repeated vascular stimulation. Every day the vessels relax a little more. Every day circulation strengthens. Every day your legs receive more of what they've been deprived of. You begin to feel more awake, more alive, more present inside your own body. And while cayenne is powerful, it is also simple to use. The warmth you feel is not a side effect. It's a sign of activation, a sign that your vessels are responding, a sign that your blood is moving with purpose again. For people who have felt stuck inside a body that doesn't cooperate, this can feel deeply emotional. To wake up one morning and realize your legs don't ache the way they used to. To walk across a room without feeling that dragging heaviness. To feel warmth returning to cold limbs. It is proof that the body still knows how to heal. It simply needs the right signals. Every drop of blood you have travels through more than 60,000 miles of vessels. Every second your heart pumps for you without asking anything in return. That system depends on flow. Flow is life. When flow slows, the body weakens. When flow strengthens, the body rises again. Cayenne pepper is not a miracle. It is a tool, a natural, measurable, scientifically researched tool that supports the system you rely on every moment of every day. And it all begins with 1 teaspoon, 1 choice, 1 moment of giving your body something it can immediately use. The strength of your legs, the warmth of your feet, the comfort of your muscles. They are not fixed realities. They are conditions that can change. Your circulation can improve. Your energy can return. Your legs can become strong again. Sometimes the first step toward healing is not a huge leap. Sometimes it's something so small, so simple, so accessible that we overlook it. But inside that teaspoon lies a fire designed not to burn you, but to bring you back to life. Every day, the human body fights silent battles we never see. Deep inside the legs, beneath the skin and muscle, tiny vessels struggle against inflammation, pressure, sluggish blood flow, and the wear of time. For many people, heaviness becomes normal. Aching becomes routine. Fatigue becomes expected. But scientists have discovered that 1 natural compound inside cayenne pepper holds the power to change this story, not through magic, but through biology. And when you understand what it does inside your body, you will never look at this simple spice the same way again. Capsaicin, the active compound in cayenne, has been studied in laboratories across the world for its impact on inflammation. And what researchers discovered is astonishing. Capsaicin interacts with the body's sensory receptors, the ones that control heat, pain, and inflammatory responses. When it binds to these receptors, it sends a signal that triggers the body to release natural anti-inflammatory compounds. These aren't synthetic. They aren't foreign. They are produced by your own cells as part of your natural defense system. And this shift can make a dramatic difference in the legs, where inflammation often hides inside the muscles, joints, and vascular tissues. Inflammation is more than discomfort. It restricts blood flow, it compresses veins, it stiffens tissues that should be flexible. Scientists refer to this process as endothelial stress, a state where the inner lining of your blood vessels becomes irritated and less capable of relaxing. When vessels cannot relax, they cannot carry blood efficiently. And when that happens, the legs pay the price. Tightness, fatigue, heaviness, swelling. But capsaicin has been shown to support endothelial function. It helps blood vessels behave the way they were designed to, smooth, open, responsive. This is one of the reasons people feel a sense of relief or lightness after using cayenne consistently. It is not imagined, it is physiology. But one of the most remarkable discoveries about cayenne is its ability to indirectly support nitric oxide, the molecule that tells your blood vessels to open. Nitric oxide is often called the miracle molecule by cardiovascular researchers. It is responsible for relaxing the smooth muscles inside arteries, allowing more blood to surge through with less resistance. When nitric oxide levels fall, the legs begin to feel the consequences. Muscles tire faster, veins struggle to move blood upward against gravity, the calves and feet grow cold. But studies suggest that capsaicin stimulates pathways associated with nitric oxide production, helping the body create more of this essential compound. And when nitric oxide rises, circulation shifts in measurable ways. More oxygen reaches the muscles, more nutrients reach the tissues. More metabolic waste is carried away. The legs regain vitality. Another powerful benefit science has uncovered is capsaicin's effect on platelet behavior. Your blood naturally contains platelets, tiny cells responsible for clotting when you're injured. But in today's world of long sitting hours, reduced movement, and chronic inflammation, platelets can sometimes become overly sticky. When platelets clump excessively, blood becomes sluggish. And when blood becomes sluggish, circulation slows. The legs, especially the calves, are the first to feel this slowdown. Researchers studying cayenne found that capsaicin has a remarkable ability to influence platelet aggregation. In other words, it helps keep blood flowing smoothly by discouraging excessive stickiness. It doesn't thin the blood like a medication. It simply helps maintain a healthier fluidity, a natural flow state that your circulation depends on. The venous system, the network of veins that return blood from your legs back to your heart, also benefits. The veins work against gravity all day, every day. Tiny valves inside them must open and close with perfect timing to push blood upward. But inflammation, weak circulation, and sluggish blood flow can strain these valves. Studies show that capsaicin helps support vascular tone and reduces oxidative stress, two factors that heavily influence how well veins function over time. This means the veins in your legs may experience less pressure, less strain, and better support from the tissues around them. But perhaps the most emotionally powerful part of this story is what all of these effects mean in real life. Imagine the difference when inflammation softens, when nitric oxide rises, when blood moves freely, when vessels relax instead of constrict. For someone who has lived with leg heaviness for years, this shift can feel like a new beginning. For someone whose feet are always cold, warmth begins to return. For someone whose legs tire after a short walk, strength begins to rebuild. These aren't just physical changes. They are transformations in how a person experiences their day, their mobility, their independence. The science is clear. Capsaicin affects the TRPV1 receptors, the same receptors that respond to heat. When triggered, they initiate a cascade of beneficial responses that improve comfort, reduce inflammatory signaling, and increase blood flow. In animal studies, capsaicin has demonstrated the ability to support metabolic activity in muscle tissues, helping them function more efficiently. In human studies, topical and dietary capsaicin have shown measurable improvements in circulation and discomfort. And it all connects to one simple truth. When you help the vascular system, the legs respond quickly. Every inch of your leg, from your thighs to your toes, depends on healthy circulation. Blood delivers oxygen. Oxygen produces energy. Energy creates movement. Movement is life. When circulation suffers, life in the legs slows. But when circulation improves, life returns. And that is what makes this natural compound so incredible. Not because it promises miracles, but because it works with your body, not against it. It supports systems that are already trying to heal you. The most shocking part? Many people overlook this powerful circulatory ally because it sits in their pantry disguised as a common spice. But scientists see it differently. To them, cayenne is a bioactive compound with profound physiological effects. To them, capsaicin is a vascular stimulant, an anti-inflammatory agent, a catalyst of nitric oxide, a supporter of microcirculation, a protector of endothelial tissues, a natural tool that helps the body maintain one of its most essential functions, the movement of blood. And all of these benefits can arise from a simple, consistent habit. 1 teaspoon a day, a small decision that sends a message to your body. Keep moving, keep healing, keep flowing. Your legs are not doomed to heaviness. Your circulation is not fixed. Your vitality is not gone. The body is always ready to improve when given the right support. Nature does not shout, it whispers, and sometimes its most powerful tools come in the smallest doses. Every day, people search for complicated solutions to problems that don't always require them. They buy expensive supplements, join programs that promise breakthroughs, chase routines that drain their wallets and their hope. But the human body has always responded best to simplicity, to consistent small actions repeated day after day. And that is what makes 1 teaspoon of cayenne pepper so extraordinary. Not because it's exotic, not because it's rare, but because it is simple enough to fit into daily life, powerful enough to stimulate change, and consistent enough to help the body do what it was designed to do: circulate, nourish, and strengthen itself. Scientists who study dietary patterns know a truth that many people overlook. The body adapts to what you give it regularly, not occasionally. A single teaspoon of cayenne delivers capsaicin, the same compound that stimulates vasodilation, boosts nitric oxide production, and enhances microcirculation in a way that the body can use immediately. And by taking it daily, you create a repeated physiological signal, a gentle push that encourages your blood vessels to stay open, your muscles to stay oxygenated, and your tissues to stay alive with movement and warmth. But the beauty of this teaspoon lies in how easy it is to weave into a routine. You don't need to rearrange your day. You don't need complicated instructions. You simply add it into the rhythm of your life, and the body responds. Researchers call habits like this micro-interventions, small daily inputs that create measurable changes over time. And the changes this teaspoon supports are happening where it matters most, in the legs that carry you, the veins that return your blood, and the muscles that allow you to move freely. For many people, circulation weakens slowly. It doesn't announce itself. It creeps in through cold toes, tired calves, swelling after standing, heaviness that feels like invisible weights strapped to the legs. But when you introduce this simple teaspoon every day, you are telling your vascular system that flow matters. You are giving your body a tool to counter the stiffness, the stagnation, the inflammation that quietly builds. Just 1 teaspoon is enough to deliver capsaicin in a concentration that activates receptors linked to improved vascular behavior. Scientists have seen these receptors light up in imaging studies, responding to the heat signal, triggering pathways that support circulation in measurable ways. And yet this teaspoon is not just biological, it is behavioral. It becomes a daily reminder that your health is in your hands. When you mix a teaspoon into warm water each morning, you create what researchers call a health anchor, a small ritual that reinforces consistency. When you sprinkle it onto your meals, you integrate it into your environment. When you take it as a wellness shot, you create a moment of intention. These small acts add up. Over a week, a teaspoon becomes 7. Over a month, it becomes 30. Over a year, more than 300. 300 reminders to your blood vessels that they must stay open. 300 signals to your legs that they deserve nourishment. 300 opportunities for microcirculation to improve. And the science behind daily use is compelling. In numerous studies, capsaicin shows cumulative effects. The body becomes more responsive to it as the days go by, mirroring the way exercise improves performance through repetition. When consumed regularly, capsaicin increases metabolic activity in endothelial cells, the cells that line your blood vessels. These cells play a critical role in regulating blood flow, controlling inflammation, and maintaining vascular flexibility. Daily activation helps them stay functional and resilient, especially in the legs where blood flow is most easily affected by gravity and inactivity. But what makes this teaspoon so emotionally powerful is the shift people begin to feel when they stay consistent long enough for the body to respond. One day the legs don't feel quite as heavy. Another day the feet feel a little warmer. Then movement becomes slightly easier. These are small victories. But to someone who has lived with slowing circulation, they feel monumental. Because these changes aren't coming from a drug or a device, they're coming from the body waking up, from blood beginning to travel with purpose again, from tissues receiving the oxygen they've been waiting for. This is the genius of daily integration. The teaspoon doesn't fight the body, it works with it. It amplifies the body's natural signals. Capsaicin is processed quickly, used efficiently, and eliminated without stress. It acts like a spark, brief, powerful, but enough to ignite action inside the vascular system. And when that spark is repeated each day, it becomes a rhythm the body recognizes and responds to. Some of the world's longest-lived populations didn't have advanced medical systems. They had simple foods, daily routines, and consistent habits. Many consumed spicy foods regularly, benefiting from natural compounds like capsaicin without even realizing the science behind them. Their circulation stayed strong because their habits stayed strong. And that is the message of this teaspoon. Your habits shape your health far more than any single event ever will. When you add cayenne to your morning, you are adding heat. When you sprinkle it on your meals, you are adding circulation. When you choose to take this teaspoon daily, you are choosing flow over stagnation. You are choosing strength over weakness. You are choosing vitality over fatigue. And you are doing it with something your ancestors would recognize: a whole food, unprocessed, affordable, accessible, powerful in its simplicity. The shocking truth is that many people suffer not because solutions don't exist, but because the solutions are so simple they are ignored. We crave complexity. We expect healing to be difficult, but sometimes the body doesn't need complexity at all. It needs consistency. It needs daily signals. It needs actions small enough that you can repeat them without effort, and powerful enough that they create change you can feel. 1 teaspoon a day is not a trend. It's not a fad. It is a daily act of self-support. And every time you take it, you're telling your body, I'm investing in you. You're telling your legs, move with me. You're telling your circulation, flow the way you were designed to flow. In the end, the body remembers what you do repeatedly. And that simple teaspoon becomes more than a spice. It becomes a commitment, a ritual, a catalyst. And for many people, the beginning of a transformation they never thought possible.